Hi, welcome to HeKate's Crossing. I was watching Soul's Journey video, traditional or new tarot deck. It just made me sort of think about things, my own personal thoughts. Doesn't mean that anyone's right or wrong or anything like that. Just these are my thoughts in regards to traditional or new tarot decks. And what do we mean by traditional? For me, traditional deck is very Tarot de Marseille type deck. Now, when it comes to Tarot de Marseille, of course, there's so many different varieties. This is a Claude Burdell, a Lo Scarabeo one. Was also thinking also the Visconti Sforza. Is that traditional? Of course, that's traditionally hand painted as part of a tarocchi. So again, is that traditional? Of course, and then of course there's ancient Spanish, ancient Italian. This is the ancient Spanish one. Again, it's got that Marseille style. So I think that to me is one tradition. Okay, and then you have next, so they were sort of the earlier decks, and of course they were traditionally a game and created into much more of divination. Okay, so we've got those Tarot de Marseille style decks, right, as number one, traditionally. And to me, they read differently, of course, than Rider-Waite-Smith. Now, I've never been a huge Rider-Waite-Smith deck person. This is a Waite-Smith. The borderless edition. So this is traditionally Rider-Waite-Smith, based on the 1910, approximately 1908, 1910, 1912, somewhere around there, approximately 1909. Basic tarot deck with the scenic minor arcana, illustrated minor arcana. So again, that's another tradition. Those earlier decks, and it's the ones that, this is a deck that sort of a lot of the modern day tarot decks are based upon, but not all. Okay, and then the last one is the 1948, which was actually published in 1968. By Lady Freda Harris, with the artwork, and Aleister Crowley, the Thoth Tarot. Again, you've got those Pippish minor arcana. So those to me are the three traditional tarot readings, and they all read very, very differently, but they can still read tarot, which is great. Now you've got all the modern type. Now I actually started with the, as those that have watched my channel will know, that I actually started with the Native American Tarot. That was the first tarot deck I actually started with, and it's the one that I used all the time, and it read beautifully, and it reads beautifully, still reads beautifully. This is the deck that I started with over 20 plus years ago. Of course, this is a replacement, but awesome deck to work with. For me, any modern tarot is very subjective to whether it will read for someone or not. For me, I love like things that are a little different, a little quirky, and I think they all have their place, whether you go more traditional route or whether you go more modern, something a bit different, their own imagery, like the Santa Muerte Tarot, or you've got something like the supernatural. Now, I know this is based off a TV series. There are lots of tarot decks that are coming out like that, but they're depending on your knowledge of tarot. Yes, maybe the imagery might not speak a lot, but if you actually understand tarot, understand numerology, the suits, I actually find it reads really, really well. And whether that's come from tarot experience, I mean, it's definitely not a beginner's tarot deck. It's definitely, you know, with just the character, showing the characters without, they're not really doing anything as such. It doesn't really give you Rider-Waite-Smith imagery, but once you have an understanding of tarot, I think you definitely can read with it, and I love it. I actually love the supernatural tarot. I think any of the modern tarot decks can be read, and read quite profoundly, but I think it just depends on your experience of working with tarot, maybe your commitment to maybe reading the book, getting to know the deck. This is a mixture between, to me, a little bit of mixture between the illustrated pips and illustrated minors and non-scenic pips, sort of a pippish deck. It's sort of a mixture between the two. As you can sort of see, here's the Three of Swords, and you've got someone here that's showing a sense of anger, the look of their face, and then you've got like the two bones here. So the suits are slightly different with the blades, the bones, the chalices, and the pentagrams. But I love it. I think modern decks have a real place in society. It does make the readings a little different than the traditional, as in the Tarot de Marseille or Rider-Waite-Smith or the Thoth Tarot. There is certainly some differences with the more modern tarot decks. Like you've got the Coffee Tarot. It's another very modern. This one does have different titles on it, elements in it as well. It goes with the elements, and so you got air, water, earth, and fire. And you can see the titles are slightly different with the bean, the magic, the French press, the lovers, fuel. So that takes a little bit of time to get to know. But this is a very modern, everyday, relatable deck. As you can see, the imagery is very, very modern. I love it. And I think the modern decks do have a place in today's society with the different types of readers. Everybody reads differently. Everybody finds different decks that appeal. And I think it's fantastic that we have such a choice, that we can go from traditional tarot decks to something a little bit more modern, a little different, maybe a little bit more diversity with imagery, if that's the way you want to go. You've got keywords on them. You've got, I mean, there are so many different types of decks to be used that I think everyone's covered in some way. So I love the sharing of all the different types of decks that are available for us for purchase, whether we go mass market, independent, through Kickstarter, through Etsy, through websites of the creator, through a store, whatever way, or print on demand. There's so much choice for us to choose from and create things that are a bit different and a bit unusual. So anyway, that's my thoughts in regards to traditional and new tarot decks. I think it just offers something different to maybe a client you want to read with. Maybe you find people, maybe you're in a mood that you go somewhere and you want to be really Tarot de Marseille type readings, or maybe Thoth, or maybe you want to go right away at Smith, or maybe you just want to go something completely different for a theme of a party or a season. I think there's so much to choose from. Anyway, that's it from me. Don't forget to check the links below. Check the links on my channel. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you know when the next video will be uploaded. Take care and blessed be.